Hello friends, only daily social interaction that he gets is with gas station cashiers here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on 6 OP tricks that require literally zero skill. Before we get into it, shoutouts to these guys who I randomly selected from my subscribers to receive $69 via PayPal, so if you want to support me and you want to possibly receive some free stuff, then hit up that sub button. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1. BKB takes precedence over every single stun in Dota. So to give you an example of one, you have the classic Bane Nightmare into Arrow setup, where you have the chain stun because the Nightmare obviously stuns you, and then it's only dispelled when the arrow comes in, which also stuns you. But the issue is, there is one frame between the Nightmare and the arrow hitting where there's damage applied, and you can actually BKB it. And all you need to do is literally tap the D key to have the BKB queued up for when the arrow hits, and then Dota will automatically BKB for you on the exact frame that the arrow would hit. This goes for even more crazy combos like this Naga Sleep into Black Hole combo where you overlap and I just, once again, tap the BKB key and then all of a sudden, sure, I obviously do get Black Hole because it's BKB piercing, but I get the BKB off even though there was a stun into stun overlap. And so, obviously in cases like when somebody's going to stun you out of Yules, it's the exact same. You're going to get the BKB off 100% because even if it hits you at the exact perfect timing, the BKB is hard-coded to go first. Number 2. Dewarding an entire creep camp by placing a sentry ward in the middle of the creep camp as opposed to outside of the spawn box of the creep camp. So basically, at some point in Dota, I think this was in the last 6 months, Valve made it so that it's actually possible to delete your own wards, especially if they're in camps. Your allies can actually delete wards that are in camps. And this was for two purposes. Number 1, anti-griefing. People were doing that to grief their team. And then number 2, it's so that if you know the enemy team knows that you have a ward, you can delete it. And the unintended consequence of this is now every single creep camp in Dota can now be dewarded by placing the sentry directly in the middle of the camp. No creep camp is too large that you can't do this. And you can walk over, easily deward the ward, and then before the next set of camps spawn, you can just sit there and right-click away and kill your sentry. And the funny thing is, I feel like this is something that if this was originally the way it was in Dota, I would never need to make a video about this, but I still see people placing sentries over here where they don't deward the right side of the camp, or over here where they don't deward the left side of the camp, and it's because they're worried about blocking the camp. But you can't block camps anymore. Even your allies, if you blocked the camp, could deward it themselves because of anti-griefing measures. Number 3, you can run behind this stump right here. Yeah, that's it. That's literally it, but it is the single greatest juke path in the game, and so I wanted to show this to you. There's another one on the dire side right over here. This stump is a little bit more obvious because you can see the space behind it, and still people don't run behind it for some reason because it looks like you can't run behind it, and I will show you exactly why people think that you can't run behind it. If I try to path over here like this, and I click to the side like I normally would around the side of the map, it really looks like my hero is stuck on something. Like there's no way to get over here. But if you're more precise with your mouse movements and literally put your mouse right where the ground is behind the stump, you can actually run through the juke path and behind the stump. And so what you can do is the enemy team is chasing you in the off lane, and then you just dip in here. They think that you're going to be stuck in here or that you're going to keep going down or loop around and go out like this. But really, you go behind this stump, and oftentimes this tree right here is enough to block them so they don't see you running behind the stump, and it is the single easiest juke in the game. Number 4. Tier 2s have a lot more night vision than Tier 1s. In fact, it's so bad for Tier 1s that I can literally walk into the attack range and these things can't see me. So one problem that people have that happens a lot in current Dota, especially because it starts at nighttime, is people try to do some sort of cute wraparound play to the rune where they'll run this way and they'll run through like this, and then they'll think because they're out of the attack range of the Tier 2, oh, why the hell is the enemy team waiting up here for me? Or maybe this is later on into the game and people are split pushing and they're cutting creep waves and you run into the enemy triangle through the Tier 2 and you think that they don't see you because the attack range is, you're out of the attack range. But actually, if I do all vision here, let me go ahead and show you. So remember, this is the attack range. This is where I walked. If I turn on all vision, you can actually see that this path behind here can be fully scouted by this tier 2 vision, whereas the tier 1 vision is completely atrocious. It's pathetic. And so a lot of people die because they think that the vision between the tier 1 and the tier 2 works exactly the same. I remember when I first discovered this, I was actually cutting the creep wave here. I was preparing to cut the creep wave here, and I ran behind like this into these trees here, and then the enemy team came and killed me. And I legitimately was thinking, man, these guys are stream sniping. They're literally watching my stream and coming to kill me. How the hell would they have vision here? But it turned out I just walked through the tier 2 vision, which is quite a bit larger than the tier 2 attack range. Number 5, shared tangos, now as of 7.29, have no cooldown. This is something that I learned from Trent when he was casting the NADPC. He said this, and I couldn't believe it because I was thinking, why the hell do carry players ever buy regen? And just to show you here, as you can see, I throw the hook. Hook actually goes on cooldown. I'm not sitting in a lobby with WTF mode on. But if I give Crystal Maiden a shared tango, and then I eat a tree, and then I give her another shared tango, this one is not on cooldown. So I can infinitely give this CM tangos, and she can infinitely keep using them. As a carry, technically speaking, I don't see why you would ever buy any of your own regen now. I legitimately think it should be the meta where the supports are buying tangos for the carry. Because why not? Number 6, there are 3 hiding spots in the Roche pit that are basically impossible to catch somebody if they hide there. But with that being said, there is one of them that most people will commonly use that is significantly worse than the others. So I can show you here that there is a hero hiding in the Roshan pit. If I take any angle trying to look in from the outside, I don't see anything because there is a hard vision block on the Roche pit. If I walk in and I try to look from the inside, I can see there's nobody there, or at least it looks like there's nobody there, but indeed, there is a Crystal Maiden hiding in the entryway to the pit. So this is one that a lot of people know, and I think the problem here is that a lot of people hide in the center for whatever reason. This is the popular version of this, and most people are not just going to click in like this if they're chasing and let the Pathfinder do its work. Everybody spam clicks in Dota, right? So what's going to happen is somebody's going to take a wide angle to get into the pit, and they're actually going to catch you if you stand in the center of this. And this is why I say that there are 3 spots, because there are roughly 3 heroes worth of places that you can hide. So what I would recommend is if you are getting chased from below, you want to walk in and then immediately walk to the top of the entryway to the Roche pit. So then what happens is Pudge takes a wide angle to get in. He doesn't see anything. Where the hell is she? He walks out. Maybe I got juked, taking another wide angle, and you can see I still don't know where she is. Even taking 2 wide angles, I can't catch her. And that's because she's all the way up here, which is incredibly hard to find, and it's likely that she's going to TP out by the time I do find her, if I do even find her. Very likely I'm going to be confused and have to look at the replay to see what the hell happened. But if you're getting chased from above, likewise, I would recommend running to the bottom area, because once again, the person's going to take a wide angle entrance into the pit and then a wide angle entrance out of the pit just by the nature of spam clicking in Dota. So do not hide in the center of the entrance to the Roche pit. Hide in the top, hide in the bottom. That is my recommendation. It is way harder to find people in those locations. Anyway, that's it for this video. I've decided I'm just going to randomly keep giving shit to subscribers, all of the money that I make from the videos, because this literally would not be possible without you guys subscribing. So thank you so much for subscribing. You are fucking awesome. If you do it, you might win some free shit. You might not. Who cares? It's free. But in any case, I want you to know I do appreciate you, and I hope to see you in another video.